Hi everyone! Today we're diving into the topic of imperfect competition in microeconomics. Now, when we talk about competition in markets, we usually think about businesses fighting to offer the best product at the best price. But not all markets are the same, and some markets are imperfect. Let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand. What is perfect competition? First, let's quickly review perfect competition, which is the ideal model. Imagine a market where there are a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers. Everyone is offering the exact same product, so no one can charge more than anyone else. If one seller raises their price, customers will just go to the next seller. This keeps prices low and competitive. Sounds perfect, right? Well, it's rare to find a market like this in the real world. Next is, what is imperfect competition? Now, imperfect competition describes markets that don't meet the perfect competition criteria. This includes markets where some buyers or sellers have the power to influence prices. Let's look at the different types of imperfect competition. First, up is the extreme case of monopoly. A monopoly is when there's only one seller in the market because there's no competition that one company can control the price of the product. For example, if a town has only one electricity company, they can set whatever price they want for electricity because there's no other option for customers. This can lead to higher prices and fewer choices for consumers. Next, we have oligopoly. This is when there are only a few companies that control the market. These companies often have a lot of power and can influence prices. And in some cases, they might even work together to set prices, which is called collusion. Oligopolies tend to happen in markets where it's really expensive to start a new company. A great example is the wireless phone industry like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Together, they control almost all of the market. If one company raises their prices, the others usually follow suit. Next, concentration ratios. To measure how much control the largest companies have in a market, economists use something called concentration ratios. This tells us the percentage of the market controlled by the top few firms. For example, the US wireless market is highly concentrated. 96% of the market is controlled by just 4 companies. This means there's not a lot of competition, which can lead to higher prices and fewer choices for consumers. Then there's monopolistic competition. In this type of market, companies sell similar products, but each one tries to make their product look a little different. For example, think about the smartphone market. You have Apple and Google, both offering mobile operating systems that do similar things but with slight differences. Consumers often have strong preferences for one over the other, even though these companies can set their own prices. They have to be careful. If Apple raises their prices too much, people might switch to Android. Most real-world markets fall somewhere between perfect competition and monopoly, meaning they're usually imperfect. Whether it's a monopoly, an oligopoly, or monopolistic competition, each one affects how businesses set prices and how consumers make decisions. For example, you might pay higher prices in a monopoly or have fewer choices in an oligopoly. On the other hand, monopolistic competition gives you more choices, but prices might still vary depending on which brand you choose. Why imperfect competition matters? So, why does all of this matter? Well, understanding imperfect competition help businesses make better decisions about pricing, marketing, and even how to compete with other firms. It also helps governments decide if they need to regulate a market, like controlling prices in monopolies or preventing unfair practices on oligopolies. To wrap it up, here are the key points to remember. Perfect competition is rare in the real world. Monopolies have one seller with total control over prices. And oligopolies have a few large firms that control most of the market. And monopolistic competition happens when companies sell similar but differentiated products. Understanding imperfect competition is important for both businesses and regulators. That's a quick overview of imperfect competition. I hope this helps you understand how different market structures work and how they affect pricing, choices, and competition in the real world. Thanks for watching and see you next time.